Hey guys, thought I would just make a quick video. I've got to weld up one of our air boxes for the second gen DSM, and this is the air inlet. And so I thought it'd be a good time to kind of put a short video together showing you guys, my settings to weld this on the positioner and the welder, and in case you're wanting to do something similar. So what I got here is a piece of 1/8 inch aluminum, 3003 aluminum, with a piece of 4-inch 16 gauge aluminum from Ace Race. And so what I did is I got it tacked just like my plus symbol, like I said in my previous videos, just 4 tacks here. I'm going to be welding this at about 210 amps is what I got the machine set to, using 1/8 inch 5356 filler. Now, the reason that I'm using 1/8 inch on this versus like 3/32 is because this piece is going to heat up really fast. You can kind of see here, it's maybe 1 inch wide there and 1 inch wide there all the way around. And so what's going to happen is once we start with that 210 amps or so here, by the time we start to get around over to in this area and over here, this whole plate is going to start to get really hot. And is what's going to happen, I'm going to have to back off that pedal some to kind of not put so much heat into that part, because that puddle is going to want to start to wash out. And so if you're using 3/32 filler, and you might be doing all right once you start over here, but once you start getting around in this area, once this piece is getting hot, you're really going to have to start pushing a lot of that filler rod in there. And so I feel like using the 1/8 inch filler, it does two things for you. One, it prevents you from having to shove so much filler rod in there. And two, since it is a bigger rod, it's going to cool that puddle down and kind of help with that puddle control, because once this starts getting hot, it's going to get real easy for that puddle to want to wash out on you and really start to lose your bead profile. And even on this, sometimes you may notice it, we'll see when I burn it, is whenever I start to get around to the end and I'm backing off that pedal quite a bit, still putting in rod, that maybe that puddle starts to change its looks just a little bit compared to like maybe over here. But it's just because this plate is starting to heat up really fast. So that's kind of the filler rod option, and what I do to do this. Again, it's 210 amps. I'm going to be spinning at about 0.5 RPM, 2% lanthanated tungsten, 20 CFH at the torch. All I'm using is just a standard gas lens with a number 5 cup. Nothing crazy there. And again, my pulse settings, they never change. They stay the same regardless of what kind of material, what kind of joint, nothing. I've got these set. I've never touched them since I set them. So we're at 1 pulse per second. The background is going to be, I know some of you guys were asking about that, around 35%. And that's it. Super simple, nothing crazy. It seems to work really good on any joint, any material. So I don't ever try to go in here and adjust that. Same thing with like an AC balance and the AC hertz. So the AC balance, I'm at like 35%. And then on the frequency, I do run pretty high frequency. So I'm around 250, 275, somewhere around in that area. It is screaming, but for me, it's what works. Some people like to run a lower frequency and you can get a little bit of a wider puddle, but this seems to really work on everything that I do here. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get this clamped up in the positioner, and we'll get this burned in for you. That's all welded up now, so you can kind of see, once we kind of got over here about 3/4 of the way, you can kind of see right there the puddle kind of changed just a little bit, right in that area right there. And that's just, it was just heating up so much, and I'm backing off quite a bit. But that's going to be in a section that, you know, you're not going to see. Everything that you're going to see is going to be right in this area. And so, you know, that's another thing too, is always make sure, you know, however your part is going to be in the car, you know, we put the start and stop here, and that I know that's going to be on the very bottom. You're never going to see it. All this is going to be the front, and this is going to be the top. And then around here is going to be the back. So always try to make it aesthetically pleasing to where, you know, wherever it's going to be is going to look good. Well, hopefully this will help you guys out some if you're doing something similar. You know, it takes a little bit of practice, but you know, you keep pushing and you'll get there.